Your growth journey starts now. Habits in motion for game changers who don't sit still.
Leadership at its core isn't about numbers or tasks. It's about people. It's about treating people like they're the reason you're in business, not just a resource to get things done. And honestly, when you do that, everything, productivity, morale, retention, all of it gets better.
Right? Because if the people aren't on board, the process is going to fail, no matter how good it looks on paper. Trust me, I've seen it happen on plenty of jobs. You got to handle the people first.
Exactly. Let me give you a quick example. There's a scenario I've seen plenty of times, like an HVAC. Imagine you've got a tech who's off their game, forgetting little things, rushing jobs. You realize they don't just need a correction, they need a connection.
Oh, I've done that. You sit them down, ask, what's up? 9 times out of 10, there's a deeper reason, like family stuff or, I don't know, just being burned out.
Yeah, exactly. And when you say, hey, I've noticed you seem rushed, what's going on? They see you care. I had a tech once tell me his little boy was sick and he was stretched thin trying to manage work and take care of him. So I adjusted his workload for the week, shifted him to maintenance-only visits, took the emergencies myself.
Yes, that right there is leadership. You earn trust by stepping up.
Exactly. And the best part, with that trust, you get better performance. That's the core idea. You lead people, not just processes.
Yeah, but let's talk about balance. People follow clear standards too, right? Otherwise, it turns into trying to guess what the boss wants, and nobody has time for that.
Totally. That's where the performance pillars come in. Safety, quality, dependability, and productivity. They're universal. You can apply them to anything. HVAC, landscaping, remodeling.
Or even, burying water lines. You'd better believe safety comes first when someone's swinging a trencher around.
Absolutely. Safety is number one. It's about creating an environment where people thrive, not just survive. And it's not just physical safety either. Emotional safety matters too. When people feel secure, that's when they give their best.
And quality, that just sets the standard for how you work. Like, you can't just slap up a trim board and call it good. You got to check for gaps, smooth edges. It's not optional if you want to be proud of the work.
Spot on. You've got to define those standards. Take productivity, for instance. It's not about working faster. It's about working smarter, not just pace, purpose.
Yeah, and speaking of getting results, one thing I like doing with my crew after a long day is bringing everyone together before we pack up. Quick talk about what went well that day, what could be smoother tomorrow. It keeps morale higher, even when everyone's wiped.
That's a simple, effective move, and it makes a huge difference over time. Leadership isn't this big, complicated thing. It's these small actions that stack up week by week.
Speaking of those small actions, one of the biggest things I've learned is that clear communication can solve like 90% of problems before they even start. If you take the time to lay things out up front, boom, your day gets 10 times easier.
Exactly. It's about being upfront and direct. But most importantly, it's about clarity. People need to know not just what's expected, but why it matters. Let me give you an example.
Oh, I've got one too. Okay, check this out. One morning, I gave my crew this super clear rundown. Like, we're starting on Section A, double checking connections before we cover anything up. No guessing, everyone's on the same page. And sure enough, no callbacks that day, no wasted time fixing stuff. It's a game changer.
That's perfect. You set the tone right from the start. And here's where it gets even better. When leaders combine that kind of clarity with empathy, results skyrocket. Let's role play that for a second.
Sweet, hit me with it.
All right, imagine you're a team member, frustrated because you feel like your concerns on a project keep getting overlooked. I step in and say, Jake, I noticed you've been a little quieter lately during morning planning sessions. What's on your mind?
Honestly, Mike, it feels like my input doesn't really matter. I've been bringing up ideas, but we still run into the same issues on site.
Got it. Well, your input does matter, Jake, and I want to make sure we're not missing something important. Let's try this. At the next meeting, you lay out how you'd handle the prep stage. We'll see how it flows and adjust from there.
Yeah, that's legit. You're not just blowing the guy off. You're showing you actually care and want to solve the real problem. Quick, easy, done.
And think about what that does for morale and trust. They know you value their voice. And here's another layer, weekly check-ins. They don't take long, but the impact, massive.
Okay, I'm curious. How do you keep those from turning into boring how's it going chats?
Good question. It's all about structure. My 3 go-to questions are, what went well this week? Any challenges? How can I support you? Add in tracking those 4 pillars, safety, quality, dependability, productivity, and suddenly you have this rolling record of progress.
I like that. Simple, but sticks to what matters. And it beats blindsiding someone in a year-end review with, oh, by the way, these are all the things you messed up.
Exactly. When you're consistent week to week, you're not just tracking performance, you're building trust. And it turns reviews into moments of recognition and growth. Actually, let me share one of my favorite remodeling examples.
Oh, this should be good.
So, we had a kitchen project, and the crown molding wasn't quite flush, little gaps here and there. The crew didn't realize that our definition of quality means seamless seams, no caulk fixes. I sat the lead down and said, Steph, here's what quality means for us. I know you can hit it, but I need it consistent.
And how'd they take it? I gotta ask, because not everyone loves feedback like that.
Fair point. But honestly, they appreciated it. Clarity is kindness, Jake. When they know the target, they're more likely to hit it. By the next project, Steph's team nailed every single detail without me saying another word.
And the client? Probably ready to throw a parade for you guys.
Pretty much. And that's the thing. When your people are aligned on clear expectations, it doesn't just make your life easier, it elevates the entire experience for everyone. Win win. And that's the beauty of it. All those clear expectations, they create the foundation. But here's the real game changer: coaching. It's what turns clarity into sustained growth. See, when leaders move beyond just managing schedules and putting out fires to actually coaching their teams, that's when they cross over from being a boss to being a true leader.
Totally. Coaching's where you're not just barking orders, but actually helping your team level up. It's like the difference between being a ref and being a coach. You're in it with them, not just calling the shots.
Exactly. Let me tell you about a crew I worked with once. They were struggling, low morale, missed deadlines, you name it. But instead of yelling and pushing harder, I shifted gears. Weekly check ins, one on ones, clear expectations. I showed them I wasn't there to punish, I was there to guide.
And let me guess, the turnaround was huge.
Huge. They went from underperforming to over delivering in just a couple of months. And it wasn't just about me, it was about showing them their potential. That's the power of coaching.
Man, that reminds me of my crew. I started this thing. End of day quizzes, but fun ones. I'd throw out questions like, what's the best practice for loading the trailer so nothing breaks? Winter got a coffee on me the next morning. Little stuff, but the guys loved it. It kept them sharp and honestly, competitive in a good way.
I love that. Fun incentives and recognition can change the game. It's not just about the big rewards either. A quick handwritten note, a shout out during a team meeting, those little things stick.
For real. Like just telling someone, hey, you crushed it on that project last week, can mean more than a bonus sometimes. Not that bonuses are bad, don't get me wrong.
Of course, but that kind of recognition, it celebrates effort, not just results. It creates an environment where growth, personal and professional, is the ultimate goal.
And that brings it full circle. If you're coaching people right, you're investing in them, not just their work. They grow, the team grows, and bam, the whole operation keeps leveling up.
That's it. Leadership is about more than hitting numbers. It's about building people up, giving them the tools to succeed, and creating a culture of trust and excellence.
So, lead your people, don't just manage them. And hey, don't forget to enjoy those wins along the way. You earned it.
Well said. And that's a wrap for today. Remember, coaching isn't just about steering the ship, it's about helping everyone on board learn how to navigate. You do that, and you're not just leading, you're inspiring. If you like this series, let us know in the comments. We're here to help. Tell us your struggle. Until next time, be safe, lead with purpose, and keep getting better.
One habit, one shift, one win at a time. Keep moving with habits in motion. See you next time.